True Term Nation. Let's make sure we got everything all set here. We got a real big show, a real big show. Well, lots going on. Friend of mine, a friend of mine, we were listening to Sammy the Bull Gravano's live stream, and I have to say that back in the day with the mobsters and all that, they used to say, "Boy, these government and these politicians are worse than the mob. They're worse than us." They used to say when they were at the club, and you'd hear it and you'd say you'd understand because the mob, they hand out envelopes. They hand out the envelopes. When you get high politicians, governors, mayors, congressmen, they allocate the money a little different. They allocate the money. Hey, Deb. So they do it in this sneaky type of legalistic way of spreading the money around, and it comes back with to instead of the water supply and the ice caps coming down from the mountains, and they could have big reservoirs full of water, and there should be no problem with any type of water shortages in California. But there was a billionaire couple, and this Melanie King, she's real good. She's got 1 million subscribers, and she's real good. And she explains there's another guy that she hooked up with, like, to give the information, but she explains just what is behind the water and who are the powers to be. It goes all the way up to the Congress. That Feinstein, she just passed away. It goes to Schiff, Adam Schiff. These crooked, so they could maintain this control, private enterprise that runs the water supply in California. So they built these huge municipal projects for the water. And the taxpayers have to pay for it. But behind the scenes, it's the taxpayers aren't getting anything or profit from it. They're beating them both ways. And this is the scum state of California that produces Kamala Harris, Governor Newsom, Adam Schiff, Feinstein, all these perennial freaking rodents that run around. And them guys at the club used to say, as far as these politicians are concerned, they're worse than us. They're worse than the Colombo family. Well, because they were bribing the government themselves. So of course the mafia knows that the government's, but the government is dirty. They have policies that affect hundreds of people, millions of people. The mafia would just do their dealings within their own families, but these scum politicians have policies, corrupted policies, from Mayor Karen Bass to Governor Newsom, Dianne Feinstein, Adam Schiff, that affect millions and millions of people. And that's why they say they're worse than the mafia. They are completely worse than the mafia to control that water supply for profit, for profit. So this Melanie King, she's a beautiful black lady, and she breaks things down. And there's a billionaire couple that rose up in the 50s and 60s. They came from New Jersey, and then they got involved in the pistachio business, in California, and Wonder Foods, where they took ownership, and they controlled the water to go to their crops, while the rest of the citizens were sitting there with their tongues hanging out, while they're paying taxes for all these government projects that just benefited these billionaires. Who was there? Who's behind it? Feinstein, that dinosaur. I think she's out of. She either passed away or whatever. So I want you to check out this Melanie King. This is Melanie King. Beautiful lady. She breaks it down. She breaks it down. And let's just hear about, some of this. Let her do the talking for a minute.
So there has been so much news coming out about a variety of things, but we have got to get into more of what's happening in California with these wildfires. I have a series of videos I'm about to do, specifically one with Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, smiling in near sheer glee.
Why does it always look like that scum Karen Bass is always ready to laugh? Ready, she's always up there like they're going to a toga party and get your invitations for the big ball. It's they torched the state and she's up there smiling because she was on her way to Africa. She had to come back to California and answer questions. Karen Bass, holler at your girl.
Talking about the devastation that has happened in California. I am telling you, it is psychopathic.
Come
Like,
on,
she
Melanie.
literally is smiling like the Joker, excited about people suffering and losing their homes. And then there's also Gavin Newsom, who's running away from people's questions, telling Biden that we need more censorship. And then he's doing a video in front of a green screen pretending that he's in the midst of what's going on. I mean,
I was watching that when Newscum was doing that, and I was looking, I was like, that's a fake background. That is a fake background. Like he's right, boots on the ground, and he's talking. Yeah, the fires are raging. Yeah. Where's the fire trucks and where's the water, Newscum? This is very simple stuff here. It's not rocket science. This is very easy stuff. Where's the water and who owns the water and who's getting paid off behind the scenes?
Range. But I want to show you this video. I came across it because it's going viral. Now it's 2 years old, and it's from a channel called A Perfect Union, More Perfect Union, and they do some really good work, just investigating different things. I think the first time I watched them, I can't remember, but I know recently I was looking at them because they did a whole investigation into United Healthcare, and that's where I actually pulled a lot of information. So they whatever it is, they are for the people. They try to expose corruption and politicians and billionaires and companies that stories that you're not going to hear on the mainstream, because why? We know mainstream is beholden to the.
That's why social media is rising up, and mainstream media, they're all puppets from the puppet masters, from the globalists that spoon feed you lies from the tablecloth, and you can't trust anything they say. They're all bought and paid for. So you could get content from independent people that just have knowledge, and you're not going to get any curveballs by them. So that she's talking about the guy that's about to talk now.
Corporations. That's how they make any money. By their sponsors, these people, these are the ones who fund the news. They fund the media. So they have no incentive to report on these stories. And not just an incentive, not having an incentive. They go out of their way. They are told they are not allowed to report on these things because
we all love Fox News and everything else, but why don't they come up with this? Well, the truth behind that, I don't know. I don't watch any of it anymore. But why don't they report? Who are the powers to be? How long has this been going on? How does water get allocated? Who owns the water? A billionaire couple, or is it a public municipality? How come they don't report that? Because they're all bought and paid for. I like this Melanie King. She's good. She's good. She's real good.
Negatively affects their bottom dollar. But let's get into this, because this is about the billionaire couple. You know how there's a shortage of water right now in California to put out these wildfires? Like, this is the place. Okay, California has more wildfires than anywhere else in the U.S. But somehow, not only do they have a shortage of firefighters, fire trucks, and the budgets, but the shortage of water. And it's not just, oh, okay, yes, they've cut back and they've done this.
When we were little, Kathy and Debbie, all I saw on TV every season, California wildfires in the 70s, the wildfires, it's wildfire season every year. And it just seemed like they haven't got that right. They haven't got that corrected yet. And it's just been an ongoing thing for 40 years, 50 years, and we'll see why.
It is more insidious than this. There is a billionaire couple that owns most of the water in California. This is going to blow your mind. Guys, make sure you're going to realmelanieking.com, picking up some merch. Of course, I'm going to insert that later, but I want to get into this video. Be prepared.
While 40 million Californians suffer through unprecedented drought, one billionaire couple owns a massive share of the state's water system, seized in a series of secretive meetings 2 decades ago. That system was largely paid for by the very taxpayers whose water these billionaires hold hostage. Urban water systems are desperate for water, but in 2023, they'll receive just 5% of what they requested from the state. The Resnicks are the biggest farmers in California. As of 2007, they owned 4 San Francisco's worth of farmland, and nearly half of Americans buy at least one of their products. Their pistachios, their pomegranate juice, their mandarins, their flowers. It's all under one massive umbrella.
I'm sure all those crops get the water. Kathy, can you hear this? Debbie, can you hear this? Can you hear is the sound all right? Because I can't put it up any louder. Well, we got to drive on just the same.
The Wonderful Company, a privately owned company worth at least $5 billion.
Okay,
the majority owners, the Resnicks, are worth at least $8 billion. How were they able to take over such a large percentage of what should be a shared public resource? This is The Classroom from More Perfect Union, and today we're looking at how the Resnicks got rich. This portable warm air
well,
blaster
come on
will be
with
in
that
every
bull
home in
crap.
America by 2026.
We don't want no commercials.
And today we're looking at how the Resnicks got rich. Linda is a former child actress, the daughter of Jack Harris, a successful movie distributor of the 1950s, most well known for The Blob.
Starring Steve McQueen and a cast of exciting young people.
At 19, she founded her own advertising agency. Stewart was born to a middle-class New Jersey family and started his first business, a janitorial service, in grad school. He eventually acquired American Protection Services, a burglar alarm and security company. Linda approached him about marketing services for the company, and they hit it off.
How ironic. They developed a burglary and protection system. In the meantime, they're the ones doing all the robbing. Hey, Ronnie Pinder, how's it going, bud? Let's check this out. I don't have the camera and camera, video and camera and all that. I just do what I got to do here. Thanks for coming in.
Knowing that one day they'd work together to take over California's water. The Lovebirds became business partners. They bought Teleflora, the flower delivery company, and the Franklin Mint, purveyors of inane little tchotchkes. Linda was the marketing person, and Stewart was in charge of business. As Linda told the LA Times in 1993, I've always said that Stewart and I together make one perfect person, like little salt and pepper shakers. In the late 80s,
they make a perfect little match, these two billionaires. It kind of reminds me of, let me think, Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde, that comes to mind.
They found their primary industry, agriculture. They got into the pistachio business. Linda said, "We've done more for the pistachio than anyone ever since it was planted in the Garden of Eden. My husband should be canonized for all the work he's done."
Oh, he should be a saint.
They started branching into other products, almonds, pomegranates, citrus, wine, and acquiring more and more land to cover it, including some very important land in Kern County, which granted them water rights in the area. As the Resnicks were building their empire, the state of California was building new water infrastructure with taxpayer money. California's natural water supply is very inconsistent. Vastly differing amounts of rainfall means the state can go from surplus to drought and back very easily. So they build water banks to store water during surpluses to have during droughts. One important storage facility is the Kern Water Bank, started in 1988. The facility was built with hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars, which could have been a good thing. The people of California would have owned the water. But there were two Californians thirstier than the rest, and they wanted more water. Linda and Stewart Resnick, and they had a lot of political power. We'll get to that. In 1994, state water officials, water infrastructure contractors, and agricultural landowners with water rights arranged a secretive meeting at a resort in Monterey Bay, California. These groups, a mix of private companies and public agencies, rewrote California's water rules without any input from voters, taxpayers, or legislators.
That's nice.
The new rules, called the Monterey Plus Agreement or the Monterey Amendments, were devastating for working Californians and great for agriculture billionaires. The original code included urban preference, a long-standing rule that in times of drought, the state water board would give urban areas, where people live, access to water supplies before agricultural interests. Monterey axed that. That means that in times of drought, the water systems for normal Californians would have to buy water from private companies because they weren't.
So prior to that, the citizens had priority over the water supply, which should make sense. But from that Monterey agreement, they said, nah, us wealthy people that control the crops and all that, we got first dibs on that. Forget about the taxpayers that are paying $200 million for the infrastructure. Forget about them. Getting
it from the state. The new agreement also loosened regulations on paper water. That's water that doesn't necessarily exist anywhere but on paper. The full quantities of water that providers could have, but don't actually need to have. Today, 5 times as much water has been promised and sold as actually exists. And importantly, the meeting changed ownership of the Kern Water Bank. What once belonged to the state was transferred to a few private water contractors, one of which was Westside Mutual, a wholly owned subsidiary of Wonderful Foods. The wonderful employee who runs Westside, Bill Phillimore, is the chairman of the public organization that manages the Kern Water Bank. Boom. One secret meeting and the Resnicks.
Now they got a public official on the board of that. They got one of their own from the wonderful company. They got him right infiltrated into the government. They're worse than the mafia.
Owned nearly 60% of an important California water resource, built with hundreds of millions of dollars in taxpayer money.
That's nice.
The new ownership, combined with the rules on paper and surplus water, meant that during times of drought, the Resnicks could sell Kern water back to the state water systems. They took Californian taxpayers' water and sold it back to them.
Wow.
Literally as the water supply, and also to grow expensive food like gourmet pistachios and pomegranate juice.
Wow.
They converted the people's water into products many can't afford. And that's just one water bank. The Resnicks also have control of other water boards and have been sued for directing more water towards their properties. So how do they get away with this Chinatown level?
Let's just stop for a second. What? What? So the taxpayers have funded these water reservoirs, but then now they are owned by this company, by this couple, and they have to buy their own water back, their own resources. So while the taxpayers of California have to reserve water during droughts, they're not allowed to, water their lawns. It's all this regulation, that's supposed to be friendly for the environment. That's how they push it. That's how Gavin Newsom and the Democrats
I had a friend that lived out there coming through the years, Steve, and he used to say, well, there's only so long you could have your sprinkler system on for your yard. They would meter how much consumption of water each resident would. I would say, well, that's crazy. You got the water running off the mountains, the mountain cap. That's billions of gallons of water. And how does that even happen? I used to think that was screwy back then. You should have an abundance. Well, they do have an abundance of it, but that's not what they tell the people. They feed them lies from a tablecloth.
California. Remember after the election, they were all talking about, we want to make California its own country. We want to annex California. Gavin Newsom talking about how he's going to fight Trump and all this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, they're not taking care of the basic needs of the state. They're having the people suffer on a daily basis with not having water. But then when you see these crises, it's like, well, who gives a damn about all of that? We need to line the pockets of our donors. We need to line the pockets of these corporations. So now people are paying attention, and it's amazing. These celebrities and all these, very prominent Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
Hate Trump, hate.
Yeah, all the Democrats out there. Trump is no good. Go Kamala, go Kamala. Now Kamala, go Kamala. Yeah, 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 yeah. And all that. Trump is no good. We want Kamala Harris. We want Gavin Newsom and all this. Now the Californians, while they're burning down, they're starting to see the light a little clearer, and they're like, "You've been hoodwinked. You've been hoodwinked over there." And they're like, they want to be annexed off of the United States of America. Who cares? Rot into the ocean. The rest of us Americans know what California is all about. It ain't gonna be like, oh, please don't leave the Union, California. Please don't leave the Union. It's like having a bad stepchild that's corrupted worse than Al Capone.
Republicans, they're trying to destroy it. We need to be our own country, and they're gonna all flee the U.S. Now they're begging and crying, and where's the water? What's happening, and all that. They didn't want to listen before.
Nope.
And some people say, well, don't make it political. It is political, and this is the reason why.
Come on, Melanie.
Chicanery? Going to be a lot of irate citizens when they find out that they're paying for water that they're not going to get. With philanthropy. The Resnicks donate millions of dollars to politicians and research institutions, which help them secure control over water systems, and even get more water and more taxpayer funding. One important project is the proposed California Delta Tunnel, a taxpayer-funded project which would send water from Northern California to Central, where the Resnicks farms are. They've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on state and federal legislation and politicians who support the tunnel project. But their favorite politician is Senator Dianne Feinstein.
You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway.
Chair of the Energy and Water Subcommittee. She's a close personal friend of the Resnicks, attending the holiday parties in Aspen and maintaining their financial interests.
She just passed away, that old corrupted dinosaur, and then who replaces her? The great Congressman Adam Schiff. They're worse than the Colombo Mafia family. The captain passed away. They promoted this scrub up. Let's hear what else they got to say.
Look through the bills she sponsored show several which would direct money to Kern adjacent water projects. The Resnicks even ask her for things directly. When a pesky study about endangering salmon and shad fisheries threatened the Delta Tunnel, Stewart wrote a letter to Feinstein demanding a new study. She immediately forwarded it to the Obama administration, who agreed to spend $750,000 on a new study. It returned the same results as the first one. Can't buy science. But the Resnicks have tried. They are among the top donors to the University of California system, with their donations focusing on agricultural and ecological studies. The Resnicks have basically bought entire departments who put out studies on how water systems should be managed and where funding should go.
They're the ones that fund the studies and give these huge donations to these study groups and institutions that are just going to come out with the conclusion that, oh, well, we need this and we need that and we need this. They're fixing the card game at every stop. They're fixing it from A to Z. And look who showed up, Obama. There's good old Obama in there. Connect the dots, my people. Connect the dots.
That leads to even more federal and state taxpayer dollars being used to fix up what the Resnicks profit off of. This is all bad for California, even in a capitalistic sense. Agriculture uses 80% of California's water, but only represents 2% of its GDP. The Resnicks' water monopoly is just one way their quest for wealth hurts the rest of us. They allegedly lobby for increased tensions with Iran to keep embargoes on superior Iranian pistachios. Their giant crops lead to monocultures which kill important pollinators. They siphon taxpayer dollars into the company town charter schools they own, set up to train children to work for their farms. And of course, like any company of this size, they exploit their workers. We need to treat water for what it is. A necessary public resource, a human right, and something that shouldn't be owned by anyone, and work towards legislative change that stops people like the Resnicks from stealing it.
You've never seen them before. Where have you been for the last 35 years?
The more you hear...
Massive, by the way.
From stealing it. Thank you for what?
So, Dianne Feinstein died. Okay, so she's dead. She's long gone. And I was actually looking up because I don't pay attention to California politics that much. But there was a woman named LaFonza Romanique Butler. She succeeded her, Dianne Feinstein, once she died. But she's no longer in office. I believe she was voted out. So now, guess who it is? Let me show you who's the new snake in the grass.
Oh dear.
And I was not ready to do this, but I'm gonna show you.
This bum.
Wow,
This
California
bum.
is shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Because this
Here he is.
who now
Hitler.
took over for her.
He looks like Hitler.
Let me make it so you guys can see it.
Here he is.
Here we go.
He looks like
Adam
Adolf Hitler.
Schiff, the devil himself, the slimy sleazeball degenerate. Adam Schiff.
There he is.
Has he done anything about this? This falls on his shoulders. December 8th is when he assumed office. He's had time to go in there and make sure that California has water, that the people there have what they need.
There he is, folks.
Has he done that? Would he ever?
Put a mustache on him, and you have Adolf Hitler. Look at the weed that sprouted up after Dianne Feinstein. These people are so corrupt. These are federal crimes against humanity. This is complete corruption. They should all be in prison, and all they do is cry about Donald Trump, who's trying to get this country back on its feet. And the gig is up, and they should go to jail. Karen Bass, the mayor, the woman fire chief, she was all right. They tried to coax her, Karen Bass and the other powers to be, tried to brief the fire commissioner, this lady, and I got to give her credit. She said they turned all the hydrants off. You know, she was being very careful because she figured her job will be gone the next day. But they might have a recall vote if they got any sense. If there's anybody who can actually think out in California, if she gets fired, they could have a recall vote, and maybe they might want that honest fire marshal to be in there to watch the hen house. So, you know, they want to keep the status quo going, and if you object to it, then you're out. But how much can California take? They were defending all these criminal politicians, defending them, the whole Democrat Party. Now just sit there and watch your house burn down and wonder, where's all the reservoir water? So you know, when you watch the helicopters drop a glass of water, then you see the news feeds, and you see the helicopters flying over, and they're dropping a glass of water on these raging fires. That's all the technology they have, or whatever, you know, just scientifically speaking or technologically speaking. You'll see on the news, there's a helicopter dropping a couple gallons of some solution on these raging fires. Like, that's going to help. It's a visual. It's a con game. It's a sleight of hand. And it's not like they've had fires forever. I'm starting to wonder, are these fires created are these fires naturally created? Or when you got billions of dollars at stake, does somebody run up there and start, getting busy with some gasoline and some, do these just naturally happen every year? Or since there's billions of dollars behind the scenes, maybe you might run a couple people up there so you could start some fires and sell some more water.
Do that? Absolutely not. Because we know he's another one of these slime balls from California. Why is California has the scummiest politicians? You got Gavin Newsom. You got Kamala Harris. You had Dianne Feinstein.
Ooh.
And now you got this idiot up there. And all of them are about their special interests. So if you want to know Why California is burning to the ground. Listen, we can't just blame Karen Bass. I mean, she's going to get this work in my next video. We can't just blame Gavin Newsom. You know, he's going to get the work. But California, look at what you just voted in. The same. He is probably worse than Dianne Feinstein, who now are greasing their pockets because she was their point person. She was the person that got everything done for them.
Congress.
And so anybody who comes into office next, they need someone who's going to be on their team. You're going to tell me if we look through the records, they aren't major donors to Adam Schiff. They made sure he got in there so they can keep hogging all this water that belongs to the people of California. Why don't you hear?
When these scums run for office, these are the people that donate to their campaign. So, you know, here's a few million, Adam, and you'll get elected. But, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and then we'll hand some envelopes around after the fact, too. So there's enough taxpayers' money to go around so everybody can get rich on this. Very simple stuff.
Gavin Newsom called them out? Why don't you hear Karen Bass call them out? Why don't you hear Biden or any of the other Democrats say a damn thing about this? While the people suffer, people have lost their homes. The devastation in California, it looks like Baghdad. It looks like a bombed out. I mean, it is just complete destruction.
I was watching that content creator, I think Kevin Hicks or Wicks or something, and he rode right in a motorcycle through there. It looked like an apocalyptic bomb zone. And there's nothing going on. There's no firemen putting fires out. He rode all through all the fires on a motorcycle with a helmet cam, and everything's just burning down. Like it was the end times. It looked biblical. It looked like this is what the end of the world looks like. There's no fire trucks. Then he went up to the guy and he said, to the fireman and said, oh, well, there's no water in the fire hydrants. There's no water in the fire hydrants. Well, what are you doing here then? What is it? Everybody's standing around watching the fires burn. Like some third world apocalyptic scene. Like a third world war zone.
Let me show you. So while we're here, make sure you guys are following me on X. I have it up here in the corner. It's kind of hard to see. I'll move it over for a second. Real Melanie King. The link is below in the description box. Some people said they
look at
didn't
this.
know how to, just wasn't working for them. A lot of people don't know
Look
X
at
like
this.
that. I've literally just really got onto X like that, like the past month and a half. So I understand, but follow me there because even with the things that I have been breaking and talking about, specifically that whole Candace Owens thing and her getting that 100-page threatening letter from the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, because of the BS with his wife. Mr. and Mr. Macron is what Candace is calling them. I don't care if you don't like Candace Owens. This is a sitting president
Hold on.
of a foreign nation that is threatening an American citizen because he doesn't want evidence to come out about his wife being born with a dick. Like I know I have to say it like that, guys, because a lot of people just aren't paying attention.
They're all freaks.
This doesn't matter.
The France, it's a freak DEI show behind it all. You have all this corruption, and then they put a nice freak show cherry on top. DEI. These are real. This, like I said before, it's good versus evil. You're watching this video, these videos. It looks like a war zone. You have an ocean right there, and you have million-gallon reservoirs, and everybody's just standing around watching the houses burn down, as well as the forest fires. What does it take for Californians to wake up and the Democrat Party for them to stand up and say, we don't care about Democrat or Republican. We just want to have some real things be addressed here, like questionable fires that been going on forever, and you never could seem to get a grip of it. Well, then if you back this video up, you could watch Melanie King. Melanie King, I'm just using your content. I appreciate your stuff. I know I don't have a right to access that, but she'll be cool about it because we're on the same team. We're on the same team. When will they wake up? When will those woke DEI bums out there wake up? Because now, then, if you don't wake up, then burn, 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 burn. Pay higher taxes for these corrupted officials, and then burn. And then you could cheer for Joe Biden. You could cheer for Governor Newsom. You could cheer for Kamala Harris. You could cheer for Karen Bass. Cheer for them. Cheer for them. While they're robbing you blind.
This, that, and the other, and it's going to matter. Just like it wouldn't matter about these billionaires having all this water. You didn't know about it. The media didn't tell you. But it's independent people, independent journalists, independent people who are trying to bring you this information. It all matters. It's all connected. It's all connected. Okay, they all grease each other's pockets. But look at that. Let's look at it again. Turn this music off.
Wow.
But this was just driving through the wildfires. Absolutely insane. And let me see if I can pull up the actual of the devastation that's there. Hold on.
That's unreal. It's just burning. Nothing's happening. There's no fire trucks. There's nothing. Just burned down. Are they still cheering for Governor Newsom? Are they still cheering for Karen Bass? Are they still cheering for Kamala Harris? Are they still cheering for Joe Biden? Burn. John Travolta is going to do a sequel. And he's going back to California. John Travolta is going back to California to do a sequel, Disco Inferno Part 2. Okay? Disco Inferno Part 2. They're going to work out, allegedly, they're going to work out the contracts and stuff. But I think this spring, Disco Inferno Part 2. So allegedly, so keep your eyes and ears open because Disco Inferno might be coming to a theater near you. Allegedly. James Rockford.
How to quit smoking in 5 minutes. This brilliant trick allows you to stop smoking for good, whether you use cigarettes, marijuana, or vapes.
So the Pacific.
While 40 million Californians.
A cigarette commercial while I'm smoking. Well, you folks get the gist of it. I mean, you get the gist of that insanity. I mean, where does it end? Where does it end? Where does it all end? Complete corruption. Slot. Complete corruption. And they are definitely worse than the mafia. And what more does it take for, I would think, regular individuals, no matter what your education level is, no matter what your economic status is, no matter what your standard of living is, this is easy stuff. But how indoctrinized can these Californians be where they defend the devil? They defend these democrats that do not have their best interests. How come they're not showing this on Fox News? The billionaires that control the water. Why? Because there's advertisement deals in the background, and the corporations pay the news people, the anchors. They pay their salaries off of advertisements. So these billion-dollar, trillion-dollar corporations are the ones that pay Fox and CNN advertisements. So they're not going to talk smack about the people that are giving them paychecks. But forget about Fox, which I like Fox and stuff, but this is really big, and you really got to peel the layers back. something they're not interested in doing because you see the commercials of the products and everything, and they want to keep that ad money coming in so they could pay the employees. Wow. So hey, Ronnie Pinder, where you from? If you're still in here, where you from, Ronnie Pinder? Good to have you. Good to have you in here. I talk to my people. You don't have to pay to talk to me. If you wanna ride with me, I'm free. Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, folks. Oh, I think Ronnie's gone. So I like Melanie King. Beautiful black lady, smart as hell, and she breaks it down. She breaks it down. And the fires aren't done. You're just going to keep seeing the same story every year. The California fires. I'm 61 years old. I've been watching this California fire game since the 70s, since I was 10, and it's on a feed. It's just on a reel. It's on a spool. It just, then put it on the media, put it on the news. Oh, the fires. Oh, yeah. Now what do they have? Here's the kicker. Red Cross, who pays their CEOs tons and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Come on, America. America, that's already strapped by inflation and everything else under the sun. Now the rest of America pay the Red Cross for the corruption that goes on in California. Yeah, okay, yeah. Here, get your checkbook out, Joe Citizen, and send your money to the Red Cross so they could pay their employees and send them little crumb out there. Why doesn't the California government handle their citizens? What? They're Californians. Well, no. Now the rest of the country has to foot the bill on that corruption that billionaire couple caused, and now they're showing, the Red Cross is showing all the fire and destruction. Oh, boo-hoo, burn. John Travolta's doing Disco Inferno 2. Burn, baby, burn. Then maybe those wokesters will wake up. Hey, Benny. Hey, Ivan. So let me cry a river. Let me cry a river for California. Let me cry a river for that scandalistic, corrupted state from the beginning of time. And now they got thank you, James Rockford. Now they got the Red Cross showing, oh dear, what's going on here? How about this? Get it from billionaire couple. Get it from them. Get the money. Get the money from the billionaire couple that's worth freaking $1 trillion. How about they do it? They profited on it for 50 years. Get it from them. Don't get it from the American taxpayers. You put a little sad commercial up there. Oh, boo-hoo. Honey, get the credit card out. Let's donate to the Red Cross so they can drive limousines and Mercedes Benzes, so they can get richer. Everything is a cash grab. Create the crisis. Let the infrastructure, let all that backdoor money come in, and then it's just all these cash grabs. And they put these sad commercials on there. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Some movie star's house burned down. Yeah, let me cry a river for some woked out Hollywood actor. Yeah. Let me cry a river for somebody Robert De Niro watching his house burn down. Really? I really feel sad for Robert De Niro and his $1 million house. That wokester. Let me cry a river. Oh, honey, give me my credit card. I want to donate to the Red Cross, and I want to donate to so they can help California. Get it from the millionaire actors. Get it for the billionaires that created that water problem. You want the hardworking American to donate to the Red Cross that who knows that how much, go Google all your charitable stuff, all your charitable agencies. How much is administrative, your charitable dollar, how much actually goes to the cause? Google it. Is 90% of the dollar, 90 cents on a dollar, going to administrative costs and $1 million salaries? It's a cash grab, folks. And nobody puts them in check. Nobody puts them in check. They're in politics. Governor Newsom, Dianne Feinstein, Adam Schiff, they're worse than the mafia. Yeah, Paris Hilton's videos burned up. Yeah, okay. Let me cry a river. Let me cry a river. Mel Gibson got up there. I was surprised. Mel Gibson got up there on Fox News and he broke it down. He broke it down. He said enough, like that, but a billionaire couple takes control of the California water supply. And they profit on it, and they build all this new age stuff for the reservoirs, and the money goes to the crops, the agricultural crops, before it goes to the public. So their private industry, the water goes there first. That was in the Monterey Pact. They switched the Monterey Pact. They, corruption. They switched that Monterey Act or Pact. So this billionaire couple got first dibs on the water. So where's it go? To all the pistachios, the pomegranates, all these high-end products. Their corporation is the wonderful corporation that has these food products. How lovely that is. How wonderful that is. And they call it the Wonderful Corporation while they're sticking it in. So they got first dibs. The rest of you people, the rest of you citizens, rot and burn. That's all. Why ain't that on mainstream media? Thank you, James Rockford. Thank you, buddy. Why don't you see that on mainstream media? Why? He looked a lot better than that mugshot, Ivan. The last time I saw Mel Gibson, his mugshot when he was all drunk and everything. No, but he looks robust, full. He's back on it. Hey, Painted Black. How's it going, mate? Fiji water grip. And the products they sell are all hot. Go to the grocery store and buy some pistachios. I would have to finance a bag of pistachios. Go get some pomegranate juice. How about all the flower business that they run? How about all that high-end stuff they run? They got first dibs. The billionaire couple. Wow. Governor Newsom, he goes in the streets. He had the screen behind him. It was so obvious. And then he does a conference with Joe Biden, a made-up conference with Joe Biden, and they're just talking jibber jabber insanity. And Governor Newsom, he had a green screen behind him. It's all theatrics. Well, it is Hollywood. Somebody find me that green screen. We'll show the fire behind me, and he's got lighting. You could tell it wasn't natural light from the outside. He had studio lighting. These people are deranged. These people are completely deranged. And now we're supposed to cry a river. I know moralistically speaking, that people are going through. I'm not a complete animal. I'm just frustrated. But there's innocent people that want to, and they're affected by it. But get it from the billionaire couples. Oh, the Red Cross and all that. And then here's the Red Cross. Yeah. And all these other whatever they are, Yeah. What's the American citizens get up there, show a crybaby commercial, show the devastation, and then get people to get their credit cards out. When California should be they should be footing it. They created that disaster. corrupted. They created that so the rest of America has to pay the tab during hard economic times as it is. They're worse than the mafia. I remember the guys at the club, and there was envelopes. Sam, who's this guy? Who's that guy? Oh, don't worry about it. Geez, I just saw a commercial. He's running for freaking mayor. He's running for this. What are you doing handing them envelopes? Whoa, what's going on here? And the guys in the crew, they'd say, Jojo, they're worse than they're worse than the mafia. They're worse than the mafia. You want to get something built and have these zoning boards and get a dwelling built. Well, you got to pay these guys off. They're worse. Or you got people that are investigating you, and well, you got to pay them off. They come with their hands out. They come with their hands out. I say, geez, everybody's got a price on their head. No wonder he made it to 80 years old and then never did life. No wonder he never did a big stint in prison, because he knew how to play the game early on. Early on. And you can transpose that into regular geopolitical, national level agendas. And there you have it. All the way up to Feinstein and Schiff and Newscomb. And, you know, Karen Bass, the mayor, she's just a puppet. She was laughing, but it's way above her head. It's way above that, whatever the hell you want to call her. It's way above the mayor's head. And if she speaks against it, she's fired. I give that other lady, fire Marshall Commission, I give her credit because she called it right out. She called it out. I don't know if she got fired the next day or not, but they should have a recall for these government officials. If they haven't woken up yet, they're all woke, but they're asleep. They should call them out. Because newsflash, folks, newsflash. You think this is the last fire season in California? I've been watching these fire seasons since the 70s. So what do you think? This is the last of the California fires? Get your marshmallows and just go, get your marshmallows, hot dogs, and hamburgers and make a campfire and sing Kumbaya. And you can praise Newscomb. You could praise Feinstein and Schiff and get, maybe make a picnic over there. You don't get any sympathy from me. Burn until they finally wake up. All the Democrat supporters and everything, they're like, damn, we got fooled. They got crow all over their face. Yeah, they got crow. Yeah, run for president, Newscomb. Yeah. Can you imagine if Kamala got elected? They want to do to America what they've done to California. Can you imagine? Talk about selling our country out. Wow. And look who was in the video back in 09 and 06. Look who was in that video that I showed you. Good old Obama. Good old Obama. These people they're good. They're good. Yeah. It's called the Democratic crime family. The Democrat, you got the Colombos, Gambino, Lucchese, the Genovese, and then you got the Democrat crime family. Let's chop it up over there, Chop It Up TV. So they wanna impose that insanity onto a state, but they almost got away with winning the election, and America said we had enough. So you got billionaires that control the water supply. And who's getting the water? The pistachios, the pomegranate fields, the flower industry. They have a monopoly on all that. And then Joe Blow, taxpayer, citizen, has to pay for all that infrastructure. While the plumbing system and sewage system under Los Angeles is from the Dark Ages. None of that money got allocated to actual needs of infrastructure and the water lines and the pipes and water breaks and all that. Forget about all that. We gotta send that taxpayer money to allocate this water to 4 big crop farming agricultural. Give it to the billionaire companies that own the agricultural land and just slap your citizens around and says, who cares? By the way, taxes are going up again, Californians. And if you want a 1-bedroom apartment, it costs you $3,500. If you want a studio apartment out there, it's going to cost $4,000 for a dump. And they root and they defend these political leaders. You know what that's called? It's called the Stockholm Syndrome. It's when people get kidnapped and then they fall in love with their oppressor. They're all suffering from Stockholm Syndrome out there. Abuse me more, abuse me more, abuse me more. Hey, he's no good. No, he's good. Give me more abuse. I heard they're no good. No, I want more. Torture me more. Stockholm Syndrome. So it ain't going to be the last fire season for California. And will this story that I just freaking exposed, you won't see this on mainstream media. You won't see that on the legacy media. Because these billionaires are the ones that put ads on those networks. Those billionaires' ads are what pays the bills at Fox, CNN, ABC, NBC. They pay the bills. But you get independent people like Melanie King and the other guy that showed the video, and me, little old me. I'm a whisper, but I'm trying, So the Democrats, we were Democrats growing up, Kathy and Debbie. We were Democrats, but I'm not affiliated. I'm not stupid enough to just say, well, grandma and grandpa were Democrats and we should be Democrats. I think we are more educated, have more logic and common sense than that. We know when something is bad. We're able to process facts and come to a reasonable conclusion that something's wrong in Berlin over here. In America. The things they're trying to do in America, we would never realize we'd have these conversations. If you told me this in 1975 and 1980, that this would be going on in the year 2025, 2015, I'd say you're crazy. But they stupefy the people. They indoctrinate children in school to get hypnotized. They want to turn them into sheeple. And so you can follow the leader. You can follow the destruction and you can stick up for them and defend them because they try to indoctrinize you from kindergarten to if you're getting a master's degree in college. They know psychologically how to penetrate your brain. If you're vulnerable or you just think you're doing the right thing, if you think you're defending something that's right, you just don't know. You don't know that you don't know. So you're stuck in quicksand and you're cheering for these bums, your political leaders. And America came out and spoke. Look, my video's staggering. I can't catch a break. So there you have it. Shano Chop It Up TV. Yeah, it's bananas. It's bananas, bro. They ain't getting any curveballs by here, though. Yeah. Adam Shifty, put a mustache on him. He looks like Adolf Hitler. These guys are Marxist, socialistic, evildoers that have infiltrated our political system, our whole political apparatus, and they're in there and they don't have America's best interest. They have foreign countries' best interests and they have powerful corporate billionaires like them, that billionaire couple, that's who they really have their best interests. They've infiltrated our political system. They started it in the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and they reached a crescendo to 2020 and the current 2024. But it got stopped in its brakes because Trump won the election. God only knows. I think it must have been divine intervention. Divine intervention, because they say this is God's country. And it was divine intervention that Donald Trump turned his head at the right time, because this country we'd be under martial law in 4 years. We'd be under martial law. If you want to go from point A to point B, you got to go through a checkpoint. So yeah, we'll see. Trump will try to get things going, and go ahead, reelect Governor Newsom, reelect reelect Schiff, reelect these evildoers, reelect, and then they're not going to get any sympathy from me. They're not going to get any sympathy from me when there's total destruction. I know, moralistically speaking, well, the truth serum, there's people outside of their home. Well, Malibu, Bel Air, Monterey, most of them are millionaires anyways. They're woked out Democrat millionaires anyways. Burn. They're against America. So go donate to the Red Cross for them, folks. Go donate. Honey, get the credit card out. Let's donate to the Red Cross so we could send money out to these billionaires. They got insurance. They have insurance. After 9,000, after fire season every year, well, they can afford fire insurance. Where's the money going? Donate your money to the Red Cross so they could pay their high-level salaries. Go do that, and then what? So you could send Robert De Niro some money. So you could send Taylor Swift some money. Yeah, let me cry a river for them. Yeah, get the credit card out, honey. We're gonna donate to Robert De Niro. We're gonna donate to those millionaires out there. Yeah, to the Red Cross. Yeah, write the check to the Red Cross, honey. Yeah. Painted black. British people left on the streets with our veterans while illegal migrants get 4-star treatment. Right down the street here, 15 miles. I try to do my phone at the Embassy Suites, Garfield Embassy Suites. All the frickin' they were hanging. The illegals were hanging clothes. The 5-star hotel. I went to the Walmart there and I was checking out. The guy had a debit card for $10,000. He didn't know how to do the keypad. I said, "How much is on there?" Me no speak English. I speak a little Latin and stuff. And I come to find out he had 10 thou on that credit card. They're going out driving beautiful cars. I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? In the meantime, they want to put our veterans in the streets. This is evil. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. At least the mob took care of the poor and needy, especially the ones from neighborhoods and community. Yeah. The old man Sam, he used to donate to I did the story on the youth center and stuff like that because he wanted to donate it. He wanted to donate to them. And I went there. That's when I got the ping pong paddles and we were betting high limit ping pong. I was smashing them all over the place on ping pong. Well, I had to go there and to the youth center. And I had an envelope. And the guy was so happy. And said, "Tell Sam, give Sam my love." And it was a nice stick, maybe 5-10 dimes, 5-10,000 in there to the poor kids, Yeah, they looked out. It's not all what people see, the mob soap opera and all that, but they had a heart. Sure, there's certain things that go on and everything, but moralistically speaking, humanistically speaking, you know, next Monday the change begins. I'll tell you one thing, folks. This Donald Trump better have a security team around him at all times because I don't want to, whatever. But we're in a highly radicalized time in America where if we get the wrong people in office, it's over. It is over. Hey D, how's it going? Good to have you here. Once they reach the presidency, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They'll confiscate your bank accounts. They'll find way to do land grabs. Well, we already know about land grabs and all that, you know. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. It boils my blood that I got to watch every 3 minutes these Red Cross commercials. Donate to the California fires. Well, get the money off of the billionaire couple that's behind it all. Or get it from the California taxpayers that defend the governor. Get it from them. Get it from them. In the year 2024, in the year 2025, you got places just burning down. No firemen. No firemen. They went from 49 fire stations to 19. To 19. They conducted a special session last week. The California lawmakers had a special session. Was it to address the California fires? No. It was how to plot against Donald Trump presidency. What is their strategy to go against Donald? Well, last I knew, the state's burning down. California lawmakers. They had a special emergency meeting. Wow, get the fires out. What's going on? What's going on? No. How we're going to deal with President Trump. That was the agenda. That was their agenda. So keep voting them in. Yeah. Painted black. Land grabs going on in the UK as government after their land to put solar and wind farms on there. You got it, mate. You got it. Look what happened in Hawaii over here. Look what happened in Hawaii. They do it in your face. There's no more scruples anymore. They figure that the citizens are so stupid that they'll just keep going status quo. It'll just be the same status quo, same status quo. The citizens are too stupid. They wanna distract you. There'll be a big story that comes up on all the media, and they'll run it around the clock while you're distracted watching some made-up story. They're behind the scenes like octopuses grabbing everything up. They're like a magician. They're like charlatans that come through the town and sell their wares, like in the 1800s. America was done buying it. They elected Donald Trump, but you still have the governors from these sanctuary states, these woked out Democrat states. Insanity. So, and as far as the illegal immigrants in these sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, well, the Department of Homeland Security new director come out and said, he went and told Mayor Adams in New York City. Now Mayor Adams is changing his tune. Anybody that obstructs justice, whether you're a local, a county, a state, or federal person, you're going to jail for obstruction of justice. Who is against getting illegal people out of our country? What you think everybody would be for that? Yeah, come in the right way, get vetted, and then you could come in. Who's against that? So Holman said, holler at your boy. We'll see what happens when I get in. Mayor of Denver, mayor of Detroit, mayor of New York. He got up there with a conference, said, no, we had a great meeting. All of a sudden, the week before that, he was talking all this smack, flada, 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 talking out of both sides of his mouth. And then Holman knocked on his door. And then he come out and did a press conference and said, we plan to completely cooperate with DHS Holman. You better, because if you don't, get your toothbrush and underwear, you're going to federal penitentiary. There's obstruction of justice, but there's like 3 other federal charges in there. Donald Trump wouldn't like better that all the lawfare, just like all that lawfare they threw at him when he's done nothing, and they are the ones that actually committed crimes against our country. He says he's going to chill out and he's just going to get the country going. But in the back of his mind, watch out, Alvin Bragg. Watch out, Letitia James. Watch out, Fannie Willis. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. He said he's going to chill on that. Irish Jimmy Joe, how you feeling? Yeah. Mayor Wu in Boston. Come on, James Rockford. Come on, James Rockford. Yeah. Yeah. I can't even stand. Oh, wow. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much smack they're talking. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep doing that. Well, do it on January 22nd. Do it after President Trump's inaugurated. Do it. We'll see. Do it. Denver of mayor, do it. The state of Michigan, all those evils up there, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it, California. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead. Because the paddy wagon's coming. The paddy wagon's coming. Round them all up. Get this country. Who would even think would have these current event topics speaking on matters such as this? You got to get out there. I voted. The last president I voted for was Ronald Reagan. I went out and voted. Enough of the bull crap. Don't complain if you don't vote. Don't complain. Don't complain. If you don't vote, it's like you approve the other evil. Nice thing you got going here. Keep up the great work, brother. Thank you, Ronnie Pinder. I don't have technology, but I just raise it up. They blocked me for a long time, Ronnie Pinder. They blocked me, but I don't want to get too political. I got a lot of mafia stories, but I'm from a military family that shed blood on the battlefield, and I got it. I'm just gonna be careful, and you know how it works. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. I gotta be a good boy. I want to be a good boy. But Melanie King, where I showed you that, she's beautiful. She's so intelligent and smart. Devori Dawkins, he's great. On YouTube, social media content. The Cartier brothers, OK Rick, they're good. Putting it out there, And Melanie King, she's so smart. She's because network news, you're not going to get the social media. These good social media channels, these big ones, they get higher ratings than CNN and The View and The Spew and all that. So they're on their way down. Legacy bought and paid for media network jibber jabber bullcrap. They're on their way down. We don't need to get hypnotized and indoctrinized by network media. Let an independent person get the facts and put them out there, and you make the decision. There's no more brainwashing going on. There's no more brainwashing and curveballs and all that other stuff. Magic tricks, nothing up my sleeve. Yeah, well, let me check that one. I thought I saw something. I thought I saw a putty tat. What's under that one? That's over. And in the last election, the Americans said, it's over. The gig is up. But you still got psycho governors in these woked out, DEI infested states. Like, look at that mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, complete DEI. She was going to leave for Africa while Los Angeles is burning down. She's got a smile on her face. She's got a smile on her face while she's talking, and the city's burning down. She's got a smile on her face. So keep electing them. Burn, baby, burn. I don't know. Forgive me, God, but I know there's innocent people that are affected, but why are you voting these bums in? I have zero mercy. Get your checkbook out, honey. We're going to write a check to the Red Cross. Really? So you could pay that CEO freaking $900,000 a year? So 90% of your donations go to these charitable organizations? So you could keep their pockets full? Why don't their government, their own state government, handle that crisis? America's broke enough after 4 years of Joe Biden. Oh, they're going through well, where's the fire trucks while you want donations? While the Red Cross wants donations, they're putting these crybaby commercials out. They're showing it. Well, where's the fire trucks, the Red Cross? Where's the fire trucks while you're showing all this sad, destructive video? Where's the fire trucks? Where's the water? Where's the water? Yeah. The rest of the country that's already half broke because of Bidenomics. Now, you good, hardworking folks, put an extra shift in at the factory so you can support the Red Cross so they can hand 10 cents on a dollar out to them bums out there. Come on, folks. Irish Jimmy Joe. Governor Newsom did that jibber jabber with a green screen behind him. It was in a studio lighting with a green screen. It is Hollywood. It is Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, folks, for coming in here. You know, we got the Jimmy Joe, we got the Benny Blanco. Yeah, I appreciate D coming in, painted black. I appreciate you coming in, helping me out. You know, Shano Chop It Up TV. Yeah, it's bananas, my man. It's bananas. But we break it down a little bit. They ain't getting any curveballs by me. I don't care how many subscribers I got. Thank you, James Rockford. You know, Biggie Small. Ronnie Pinder, thank you for joining, man. Everything's good here. You don't have to pay to talk to me. You don't have to pay to talk to me. I appreciate the company. I appreciate the good people come in, want to chill out, chop some things up. Yeah, we're going to chop it up and have a little fun. And have a little fun, you know. But it does. I mean, it should make you feel a little animated, like what's going on, you know. Some people care, some people don't, but they have to wait. Does it take till your tongue's hanging out and you got to eat bologna sandwiches and oodles of noodles and ramen noodles? Does that what it takes for people to wake up to eat, bologna set? Well, that's what I'm eating. That's what but I've been on point. I've been on point since 1980. I've been on point since 1980 through my academic, whatever, you know. So, yeah. I appreciate the new people that come in. I'm also an author. I wrote a memoir about divine intervention, the mafia. But I've got a new project I'm going to write. I'm going to write another project about all little mafia tidbits, all little anecdotal stuff about the mafia, you know, cool stuff, funny stuff. And I'm going to compile a book, hopefully by next summer, and just put it so you could turn to anywhere in the book and read an interesting story. So we're going to, God willing, help me out on that because I want to start eating ham and not bologna. Okay. I want to graduate to ham. Joe Biden. Holy cow. So there's a link in the description if you want to throw a coffee down my throat or you want to buy the book. It's $8 or whatever, my book, or it's for divine inspiration and motivational and things like that. We're all just trying to rise up and have a higher standard of living. Be aware of what's going on and rise yourself up to have a nice, prosperous life with your family, relationships. If anybody, I'm also a degree therapist for psychology and um, um, couples therapy and things like that. I'll be more than willing to help people that are struggling in their relationships. Greg Woods, you remind me of my buddy when I worked at Sanitation, Brooklyn. Well, I'm from Brooklyn. Is that a good comment or is that an insulting comment, Greg Woods? Is Brian still alive? Brian is still alive. Brian is still alive, James Rockford. Yeah. Mhm. There was a guy, a psycho mafia crew dude, and he had a high, I call him the crybaby killer. He had a high-pitched voice. You know, like Howard Stern had that high-pitched Eric on there. And I was working a card game and they were around and and he said, I'll raise you 20 and I'll call 40. I'll raise you 40. And I thought he was joking around. So I was going to do, I was just going to do a little reply to that. And one of the other guys playing cards, he went, no. Because I was going to answer him and say, do you want a lot of ice in that drink? I was just going to try to be funny. But the other guy knew me so well. He knew, because I like to laugh and I got a sense of humor. And he was like, no. So later on, he said, Jojo, he tipped the table over. He was the crybaby killer. I'll raise you $20 and then and I'll call you $40. And I'm going, what? The crybaby. Yeah, Brian, that's a bad tick to have. That is a bad tick to have that would happen to him. Watch the other video. I don't want to explain it all right now, but it's in my library, recent library. I did that show, that video. Do I even call this a show? I don't have any editor. Slot. Is this a video? Is this a show? We have a real big show tonight. Tonight we have the crybaby killer. I didn't do it. He did it. I didn't do it. So someday we can dream, have our goals, and I'll have 100,000 subscribers and we'll be rising up. So you got to start somewhere. I got to behave so I don't get blocked out again. I gotta keep it going. I don't want to get blottoed out again, So we'll do some more of the mob stuff coming up. Like I said before, I was looking through my stuff. Now I used to deliver the bread and milk. Once upon a time. Big gambling network, shuffling money all over the place. Blah 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 blah. I was trying to clean out stuff. You get older, you become a pack rat. And I found a thing which used to be in there. Look at this. You seal it, boom, boom, boom. This was a smaller one. That might have just been going to this geographical area. But the other ones were bigger. You could put more bread and milk in them. But I found it. Look, Joe M. He wrote my name on it. That's Sam. That's the boss's writing right there. That's his writing. Joe M. He didn't put my last name on there. Thank you, Sam. God rest your soul, Sam. Thank you. But that's the actual one. I found it. 35 years later, I found it. but they had the bigger ones with the little bubble wrap in there. You seal them up. They had the bigger ones for, you know how that goes. Yeah. James Rockford, you watched the Brian Crybaby show twice? Yeah, it's funny. I'm a writer. I could write a comedy show, but I'm going to write that mob graffiti book. And if it ever gets any, you know, no. My mother raised us all by herself. My father was an artist, but we didn't benefit. He was crazy. God rest his soul. But my mother raised us 5 kids. But I saw his artwork after my uncle. Uh, I went to the funeral, and then my uncle, his brother, showed me the artwork that he had, and it was like freaking Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo. We didn't benefit from it. He didn't help us out. He didn't help my mother or us or my siblings out. But he was talented, but we didn't benefit from it. So no, I don't have any mob paintings like Sopranos posters in the back. I ain't into all that. Whatever. You know, I mean, it's good visual. It's a good visual. You know, I got a horse. I got a horse track painting, and I got the Sahara Vegas. That's falling. My set's falling apart. I got that on cardboard here. But believe me, I could run a network TV show in my sleep. If I just do this grassroots, I do it grassroots. I don't have money. I don't have editors, producers. I can't even do video on here. I had to hold the phone. I had to hold the phone like this. You know how the other channels got video. I don't know how to do all that. I'm better than all them. If I had all that peripheral assistance, I'd have 50 million subscribers. You got to be confident, folks. I do this. I fly by the seat of my pants. You got to be confident. That's all. Maybe I'll get there someday. Maybe I'll rise up. Got to be confident. Don't give up. Don't give up. I was on life support for a year. I'm supposed to be a vegetable. Don't give up. Don't give up. So I appreciate everybody that come in here. And we got more juice coming down the line. And I was thinking, because I have a brain injury. And sometimes a lot of things got repressed, PTSD after the mafia is bad enough. Then throw in a brain injury, and then some days just something might pop in my head that I never thought about for 35 years. And, things like that. So we'll keep the train going. Thank you, Greg Woods. Yeah. Thank you, Greg Woods. I miss New York City and Brooklyn. I miss it. So we'll just try to keep things going. And if you want to support me, the links and all that. I don't want to act like a beggar and all that, but it's there. It's there. Hey, Wyatt Earp, get off of that tractor. Greg Woods, thank you. D, thank you. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. I appreciate it all. Ronnie Pinder, thank you. Thank you, man. We all need encouragement. We need encouragement. We all want to be validated. If people are having relationship problems, try to get a hold of me, and we'll work a payment plan out. James Rockford, D, hey, Debbie, Kathy, the Bronx, and all of that. And then we got Shano. He's got the barbershop. He's doing his thing. They thought they were going to fool. They thought they were going to try to get all the barbers and everything because they were race baiting. And they thought all the blacks are capable of formulating rational, logical thinking. And how dare you vote for Donald Trump? My friends growing up were black. My child is mixed. Oh, you talk back. I call out red, white, blue, or green. I call out any race, any creed. I call it out. The Italians and the blacks people were prejudiced against the Italians just as much as they were prejudiced against the blacks. I grew up with that in the 70s, walking down the street with my black friends. But they thought they could get the black vote, and they tried to race bait everything. And they used to do the videos in the barber shops like a black man can't make a formidable decision. And then Obama gets up there and says, "Oh, geez, you turned on us. All the black men turned on us." No, black men, as well as any other demographic that is capable of making formidable decisions in their minds, can come up with logical decisions. They want to turn it into all that gibberish. Get Al Sharpton up there talking smack, the same rhetoric and everything that goes on. So they want the same tricks. It's the same tricks. Thank you, Channel Chop It Up TV. Check them out. It looks like TV. He must be bigger than me. Give me a shout out on your channel. So go to the truth serum. So welcome aboard. I don't know if he actually likes me or not, but welcome aboard anyways. I don't care what color or anything is. I call out BS. I call it out. I'm not, oh, he's racist. Yeah, the first thing, it's the racists. It's the real racists that are the first ones to call out, oh, he's racist. That old deflection. Thank you, Channel. I can use a hedge up myself, bro. I could use a little hedge up. Get them clippers out. I got a number 2 clipper. Throw a number 2 clipper here. I need a number 2, my man. Keep up the good work, my man. I hope you have a successful channel. Ivan Lore, yeah. James Rockford, Paint It Black, Black Debbie. Thank you, James Rockford, for helping me out. Biggie Smalls in the house. Ronnie Pinder, Kathy, EB23. There you have it, folks. This is all our show. Greg Woods, thank you. This is everybody's show. You guys come in here and I could keep the show going. You know, I could keep everything going. You guys make comments. I can elaborate and speak on them, and we just keep it going. Right up to 100,000 subscribers. Okay? So thank you, folks. If you need help, reach out to people. Don't be too macho and egotistical. If you're struggling with things, reach out. It's a sign of strength to look for help than to be a macho. I better not say anything. I'm tripping out on some things here. I'm really tripping. Well, I better not try to ask somebody for some help or support because that'll make me look like a little wimp. No, it's a sign of strength. Life is short. You want to reach your quality of life up so we can laugh and enjoy and go on a trip and eat good and go on vacations and rock and roll over here. I'm still trying. I'm 61. I got to rise up. I'm trying to make a comeback. You guys are all younger than me. I ain't giving up. They wrote me off for dead on life support. I'm not dead yet. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. I'm coming back. So there you have it, folks. The links are in the description and all that. You know all that. So have a good night. There's a football game coming on. I'm going to watch that. And enjoy your evening. And just subscribe and share and things like that. Hit the notification bell because I'm going to start posting them so you'll know. It's usually 7 o'clock or more, but I wanted to do this video before the game starts. I want to chill out, but I usually do these 7, 8, 9 o'clock so I could catch the West Coast time zone and England and the UK and Australia. I'm international. So thank you. We'll just keep everything going. I'll check you out. So the new people that come in here, thank you for hanging out with me. I'll try to do a good job, do the best I can. All right, folks. Thank you. Tune in again.